Very good morning, students. So, in the second class of your second chapter, Fractions and Decimals, we are going to learn about multiplication of fractions. I hope you all will enjoy this. Okay. Well, as you can see, there are four figures appearing in the second page, and it was completely out of my plan. I didn't plan to, make them appear at the first go itself. They do have a role to play here, but not now. But I believe they were very excited to appear, and I couldn't help it. I couldn't send them back. So I hope you will bear this with me, and please excuse me for this. And for the time being, ignore these four figures. Okay, they are important, but not now. So yeah, let's discuss the topic that we have. Okay, multiplying fraction by a whole number. So I believe all of you know what a whole number is, and fraction we are already discussing, so this is not a very big issue. Now we will understand this with the help of an example. Alright, so I have taken 2 as an example of an whole number getting multiplied to a fraction, say 1 by 4. Now the very first thing you need to do when you are proceeding with multiplication between a whole number and a fraction is convert your whole number in the form of a fraction. And how can you do this? Take the whole number given to you and write its denominator to be 1. Okay, so see, even if 1 has not been written here, the meaning remains the same, right? It doesn't have any difference. So even if we add 1 as a denominator, it still doesn't make any difference. The meaning is same. So once you are done turning it into a fraction, you write the rest of the thing, that is the fraction given to you. Now the numerator of both the fractions need to get multiplied straight, and the denominator of both the fractions need to get multiplied straight away. Okay, if you think that you will be able to multiply them in this way, in the cross manner or say diagonally, then you are very wrong. We cannot do that. Your answer is completely wrong. Whenever you are multiplying fractions, you have to do this in the direct manner, that is numerator getting multiplied to the numerator and denominator getting multiplied to the denominator. So when we do this, what happened? The result we are getting is your 2 by 4. Okay, now I know many of you are coming up with ideas like reducing it into lowest term or dividing the both numerator and denominator of our result with a common fraction, but you have to be patient. Hold on all your thoughts for a second, because we are going to discuss this in a short while. Okay, all right. And we also know that if I write 2 into 1 by 4, it is also equivalent to adding 1 by 4 2 times, as you can see here. And this concept can be even made clear by taking example of multiplying two whole numbers, such as if we multiply 2 into 2. Okay, this is also equivalent to adding 2 times, right? Basic concept. So this particular concept is also true or valid for your fractions. And if we have to represent these fractions here diagrammatically, then it will come up to be this. Okay, so I hope now you understand why these figures are here, right? So this figure out here represents 1 by 4, this one, at the left hand side, and these two figures also, they are representing 1 by 4, the one I have written here. Okay, and all together it results into 2 by 4, 2 by 4, which is our answer over here, and this has been shown by this diagram. Okay, so this is how you have to represent, or you can represent your multiplication of fractions diagrammatically. And trust me, you will be getting lot of questions where you have to multiply fractions, but you will not get them as a number. You will get them as diagrams. Okay, that means fractions will be represented in diagrams, and you have to multiply them in that manner. Okay, so I hope this part is clear to you. Now, if you see properly, if you observe carefully, this fraction over here, 1 by 4, is an example of proper fraction. Now, what if we have to multiply an improper fraction? Let's take an example over here. Suppose I am multiplying a whole number with an improper fraction, say 4 by 3. In that case also, you have to follow the same manner. Convert this whole number into a fraction, which is going to be 2 by 1, and then multiply the numerators of both the fractions together and multiply the denominators of both the fractions together, and the product of both the numerator and denominator will come up to be the resulting fraction. For example, in this particular sum, your answer is going to be 8 by 3. You can try this on your own too. Next, what if we have a mixed fraction getting multiplied to a whole number? Okay, we are going to try that as well. So suppose we am taking the same whole number 2 and I'm making it or I'm getting it multiplied to a mixed fraction. Let's say, yes, 2 1 by 3. Okay, so first thing what you need to do is you can convert this whole number into a fraction, and in the second step, after you are done with that, in the second step you have to convert this mixed fraction into an improper fraction, and we have already discussed how we can do it in our earlier class. Okay, previous class that we have done, the conversion was shown to you. So if I convert this mixed fraction here into an improper fraction, the resultant is going to be 7 by 3, which you have to multiply to the whole number 2, which you have already converted into a fraction. And then if you try this, the resultant is going to be your, for that same fraction, I'm writing it again, 7 by 3 into 2, the resultant fraction is going to be your 14 by 3. And in case your question demands that the product of the mixed fraction and the whole number need to get converted into a mixed fraction, you can always do that, right? Okay, now here is something very important that I want to tell you. In case you find the resultant sum to be a fraction consisting of numerators and denominator that have a common factor. Suppose I'm getting a number, say 2 by 4, like the one we have got here. Okay, now 2 and 4 has a common factor. I hope all of you know what a factor is. It is a number which can divide any number, or which when divide any number, the remainder will become 0. Okay, so the common factor of the numerator 2 and 4 is your 2, right? And if you divide both this numerator and denominator by the number of factor 2, then this whole fraction will get reduced to 1 by 2. Why? Because 2 into 1, okay, just give me a second. Yeah, if you divide this 2 by this particular 2, you will get 1, and if you divide this 4, you're going to get 2, and therefore the resultant fraction will be your 1 by 2. And since you cannot divide this fraction further, therefore 2 by 4 has got changed into its lowest term. But you cannot convert all the fractions into their lowest term. And why that is so? Because in order to convert any fraction to its lowest term, the numerator and denominator of that particular fraction or a given fraction need to have a common factor by which they can get divided. Alright, always keep that in mind. So if I'm getting a fraction, say 14 by 3, after doing all the multiplication, do you think I'll be able to convert this particular fraction into lowest term? No, I cannot do it, because 14 and 3 does not share any common factor other than 1. Okay, and if we divide both of them by 1, we are going to get the same fraction itself, so it will be completely useless, right? So in order to reduce a fraction to its lowest term, the numerator and the denominator of the fraction need to have a common factor or a common number which is able to divide the numerator as well as the denominator without leaving any remainder behind. Okay, I hope this part is clear to you. Then let's go to the next slide we have. Okay, yes, so fraction as an operator of. Now as you can see, of has been placed with an inverted comma here. So in English we use of very often, like we can use it anywhere in any statement you want to write. Okay, and of means or refers to getting related to something. Okay, so in mathematics, of has a very special meaning. In maths, of refers to the multiplication or the into sign while doing multiplication. Okay, now the next topic that we have is fraction as an operator of, where of has been placed within inverted comma, which indicates that it has got something special to do here. Alright, so there are many ways of using the word of in English language, varieties of ways. For example, if I say there 4 boys got selected out of 10. So very simple sentence and very clear meaning. Alright, while in maths, of has got one and only one meaning, that too very precise. So whenever there is the word or term of in mathematics, it refers to the multiplication or the into sign used in multiplication. Alright, so let's take an example here. Yes, so we have a fraction and a whole number where of is written in between them, and if we read it out, it will be 1 by 2 of 1. So as I have said, of refers to the into sign or the multiplication sign. Therefore here of has been replaced by the into sign. So that means we have to multiply this fraction and this whole number, and the result is going to be your 1 by 2, right? Because it's just 1, so we don't have to think twice to multiply these two numbers. Okay, or say, yeah, fraction and the whole number. And if I have to represent this diagrammatically, then it will come up to be your, just give me a minute, yes, this figure, where one part is shaded indicating the fraction 1 by 2. So remember, whenever the word of is there in between two numbers, that indicates that you have to multiply those two numbers. Now let's take another example. Yes, so we have 1 by 2 of 2, okay, which is also equivalent to 1 by 2 into 2. And if you want to elaborate this, you can also say that 1 by 2 or 1 by second or part of the number 2. Alright, so if we solve this out from what we have learned in the previous slide, then the answer is going to be your 2 by 2, which when reduced to its lowest terms with the help of the common factor of the both numerator and the denominator, the resultant is your 1. And why only 1 has been written here? Because 1 is also equivalent to the fraction 1 by 1. But whenever there is 1 as the denominator, you can always hide it. There is no need of writing it unnecessarily. Okay. Next, if we have to represent this whole particular sum diagrammatically, then its diagram will be something like this. Yes, where these two figures are representing the fraction 1 by 2 and the resultant here is representing your 2 by 2 or say 1. So, in conclusion, we can take that whenever the word of is there in mathematics, be it for fraction, be it for any number, you always have to proceed with multiplication. So this was all for today. I hope multiplying fractions is clear to you. In case you have any doubt, feel free to contact me. You may ask me or call me, whichever way you like. And an assignment will be provided to you based on what you have learned today. So yes, that is all for today's class. Thank you.